Hey, how you doing? Thanks for Thanks for downloading Garden Fork Radio, unpolished podcast. It's Eclectic DIY. It's me and my friends talking about what we think are interesting things that we want to share with you. And here we go. I have some free hostas. There you go. I have hostas in my yard at the little house upstate. I like the big ones. I like the ones that have blue-green leaves, and they look a little crinkled, and they have powder, this kind of powder on them. I don't know what it is. Erin, the impatient gardener, is yelling back at the podcast right now. She might even text me. Who knows? I don't know the names of them, but I bought a couple of them, and then I divided them several times. And over the years, they've gotten really big, which I love, because it means less lawn. It means less weeding if it's in a garden bed, because they're so big and the leaves are so thick that nothing else can grow underneath them, you know? And I kind of like I'm not really good at this, but a mass planting of one kind of thing, you know? At least that's what I like. So one of my neighbors up here, I posted on the Facebook group for our town. Not a big fan of Facebook, I know, but I went on there specifically for this and said, hey, does anyone have any hostas that need to be divided? And my neighbor messaged me and said, I have a big bed of them, and I don't think I really like hostas anymore. So come on down and take whatever you want. I'm like, okay. So I went down there, and it's this huge bed, and they're full of the giant kind that I like, plus a lighter green kind that's giant as well, which I have here at my little place. So I've been there twice now, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You know those cement mixing tubs? They're about 2 feet by about 3 feet maybe, or about 18 by 24. I don't know. Andy likes one as like a tub to play in. Spiker won't get in the thing. So I have 4 of those, 3 or 4 of those full of giant hostas. The hostas that I divided, the root ball was probably 18 inches in diameter, sometimes a little bigger, and I sharpened the blade on my shovels that I took down. You can just use a right angle grinder for that. It's not rocket science. Sharpen one side of the metal shovel, not both sides, just one side. Pick a side. I picked the top. And so what I do is they had mulch around the hostas and everything. And I was very careful. I raked back the black mulch, and I just cut all the way around the root, for lack of a better word, root ball. If for a hosta, it's just like a giant carbohydrate. It's like an overblown celery, the base of a celery stalk or something. But anyway, and then I cut them usually into 4 pieces. It really helps to have an incredibly sharp shovel to do that. For digging out around it, I used my shovel that's kind of curved. And then to divide the hostas, I used my shovel that is wicked straight. And a friend of mine tells me that they have a shovel like that has a serrated edge, and that is even better for dividing the root ball of a plant. So I pulled some out, and I actually went to the hardware store and bought more black mulch. I brought dirt from my garden down, because you're digging out this giant root ball, so it's a big hole in their garden bed. And I topped it all off again, and I tamped it down. And I was like, I want to leave this I want it to make it look like I wasn't there. So I drove down to the hardware store, and for $6, I got a couple bags of the black mulch, as they call it. And I spread that on there, and then I got a message from my neighbor. She goes, "Are you coming down here or not?" And I was like, "I've already been there. You just can't tell." And she's like, "Oh, wow, there's some missing. And wow, it doesn't even look like you were here." So then I went down this weekend. It's been rainy here. We had like a 2-hour window of not rain. And she and her husband were working around the house, so we talked a bit. And a friend of mine helped me dig out 2 more. And since they were there, we said to them, hey, which of these do you want gone the most, I guess would be the word. And they pointed out the two big plants. And when you have someone to help you, it's a lot easier to dig those puppies out. So my buddy took some of them, and I took some of them, and now I have to put them in the ground. I have them stored in tubs with some water in the bottom of the tub. It's just been raining nonstop for a while here. So hopefully later in the week, on the weekend, I can put those in. So, I mean, I would think that each one of these divisions that I made would probably sell for at least $25 in the store. Some of the divisions they're like 12 inches wide by like 6 inches across or something. They're just giant, and they look like prehistoric plants to me. You know, I don't know. Is that a thing? That's a thing. Anyway, I think you can tell by my excitement. Plus also, what if they decided they didn't like those and they dug them out and they just threw them in the compost pile, you know? I mean, yeah, it becomes compost, but now we have more of these plants, so I'd like to take the whole yard, but Andy and Spike need a place to play. But yeah, that was cool. I don't know how it happened, but I ran across a website called Blag. Yeah, BLAG. And it must be from a blog post or something. But it is, what is the name of it? It doesn't, can you not, it just says, Better Letters Magazine. Better Letters, like lettering, sign lettering magazine. It's a free weekly dose of global adventures in sign painting craft, community, and culture. And I'm immediately sold because I love signage, especially older signage or signage that is has like maybe a double entendre, or it could have more than one meaning. I photograph signs a lot. And it's kind of how people are trying to communicate. I mean, in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, there are people that don't want your dog to pee in the garden bed that's around the trees. They call it a tree pit or a garden bed. And they have these like page-long things that they put in one of those clear transparency holder things and tape it to the tree. And I'm like, no one's going to read this. The best one is, no dogs. Keep your dog out. Or dog pee kills trees. That's all you got to say. But they want to do this like long. So I'm fascinated by how people try to communicate, especially to the public or in public. Like those sandwich board signs you see, and you can put all the letters in them. Those are sometimes hilarious, even though the people aren't meant to do that. But so this is a digital and also printed magazine. You go to bl.ag, bl.ag. And yeah, it's got a bunch of blog posts on it. There is a place called the American Sign Museum, which I believe is in Ohio. Let me double check. It's having its 25th anniversary. It does. It's in Cincinnati. Yes. And it looks really cool. And the gentleman who wrote this post is writing a book about signage. And this has old neon stuff, some vinyl. Yeah, what's that kind that looks like it's a sheet of plastic and it looks like they kind of pressed it down over some wooden type and stuff. It's just, you know what I mean. But anyway, bl.ag. And they have a conference. They have a printed magazine that you can sign up for. And I love this. There is Mr. Plywood is a lumber yard in Portland, evidently. And there's a giant plywood image of Mr. Plywood, and two sign painters volunteered to maybe they paid. Anyway, I don't think I paid or not, but they restored the sign. And that's on, it's called Mr. Plywood Stands Proud Again, Recreating a Portland Icon. How cool is that? The pictures are great. Here, I'll click on the link. Yeah, Mr. Sign. Oh, it's called Mr. Plywood, and it's outside of a lumber yard. And I love it. I love this kind of stuff. As you know, I love printing. I love analog printing, even though I don't have any analog printing devices. I've always wanted to get a letterpress, but then they're big and I don't have a lot of space. And then I might become disinterested in it, you know? And there was one more thing. Brain. If I were a brain, where is it? Okay, here we go. I did this. Did you know that there is a Korean harmonica player group? Yeah. My phone, the Firefox browser on the phone has some curated links, and some of them are pretty whack. And this is from ESPN. I'll read the first paragraph here. For a specific generation of Koreans, playing the harmonica is a reminder of their youth in their home, whereas not playing the harmonica for decades reminds them of what they left behind to pursue something more. This includes Donna Lee. Now she's 80 years old. Lee can look back on a life of growing up in Seoul, where she played the harmonica in a child music class. She immigrated to the United States. That led her to Southern California. She found a place in Koreatown in downtown Los Angeles, where she still lives to this day, worked in a local hospital for 30 years. So it goes on to, she was at the senior center and board, and they had center offered the class. Right, so sorry, I'm blanking. Okay, long story short, the Koreatown Senior Community Center has a harmonica class, and they practiced the Star Spangled Banner. And now they play sometimes, which I think is pretty cool. So there's a picture of them in what I think is traditional Korean dress, and they're playing harmonicas, and that's on ESPN.com. I'll link to all this stuff. But I love that. I don't know if you remember, did you have to learn how to play the recorder in like 5th grade, maybe 4th grade, 3rd grade? I don't know. And my friend Dan knew how to play, and I didn't, and I would just watch where he put his fingers, and then I'd try and do it as well. I wasn't a very good person at practicing when I was younger. So yeah, Korean senior citizen harmonica players. I love that kind of thing. There's no technology. It's just people have a common interest, and they enjoy doing it. It gets them out of the house. Socialization is so important for mental health, you know? Do you play the harmonica? I have all these questions. Oh, by the way, the gentleman who drives a tank, well, he used to drive a tank in the Army, Bob, and then he was a lineman, I don't know, for the electric company or for the phone company, but he climbed up utility poles. We're going to get him on the show. It's been kind of a goofy week, and I need to schedule some time with him. So I look forward to having someone who drives a tank on the show. We email a bit, and he sounds like a very interesting guy. I'm looking forward to that. All right, let me know your thoughts. It's what's it called? radio@gardenfork.tv. radio@gardenfork.tv. Go out and do cool stuff. Make it a great day. I'll see you. Garden Fork Radio is produced by Garden Fork Media, LLC in Brooklyn, New York. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com.